Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am here with a newborn and a postpartum favorites video for you guys. She is almost 2 weeks old. I'm sure that we'll find some more favorites moving forward as she gets a little bit older into her little newborn infant stage. But these are just things that I've been religiously grabbing since she was born. Also, I'm sure that I look extremely tired. I am. I'm still very much in pain from the surgery of the C-section, and I'm also on pain meds, so I'm kind of like, I'm here, but I'm not quite myself yet, so I apologize if I seem a little out of it of this video, but it is something that I wanted to get out and share with you guys anyway. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about that I think every parent needs is a portable changing pad for diaper changing, especially in the middle of the night. You know, we mostly just do it in our bed. It's easier that way. It's more convenient. Something like this really comes in handy. I got this one from Amazon. It is a vegan leather, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this one because it's just something that you can wipe down really easily. I know there was a night already in her bed when I was changing her, and then she started peeing everywhere, and I just kind of cupped this around her so the pee wouldn't get on the bed, and I was able to just wipe it down and clean it right off, and I didn't have to worry about throwing it in the wash or anything like that. So I love this one. I do wish I would have had something like this with my son. I only had like the cloth type changing pads, and it was a pain always having to throw it in the washer when there was an accident. So something like this is the brand Avon Oliver. Again, I will post everything I can in the description box as far as links go. It's like a blushy sand color. They did have different color options in case, you know, you have a boy or just want something maybe not so blushy, but love this. This next item is not something that my son had, but it's something that I noticed a lot of moms nowadays were talking about. And so I went ahead and got it. It did seem like a little bit of a waste to me because I didn't really understand it because it just didn't seem like something, I don't know, I can't remember. He was a baby 8 years ago, but it just didn't seem like something I would need. But I went ahead and got it anyways, just in case. And I'm obsessed with it. It is the Gripe Water. I just got the Little Remedies brand, and this has been really helpful, especially in the middle of the night. It's not something that I use every day. It's not something that I try to rely on, but when nothing else seems to be working and I've tried gauging everything to see what is going on and why she's kind of fussy and nothing's helping, then this is something that I lean on, and it works like that. It does not take the time to, it's not something that takes like 30 minutes to digest and work through. Every time I give this to her, she's like a new baby. Grape water is for gas, colic, hiccups, and fussiness, for that stomach discomfort. And there's been 2 nights so far. It's always in the middle of the night, of course, when everybody's trying to sleep. It never happens during the day, right? She was trying to sleep, but she was uncomfortable, I could tell. And I tried feeding her, I tried checking her diaper, but I could just, she was grunting a lot. So I knew that she was having some stomach issues. So I gave this to her, and it immediately calmed her down. She felt fine. And then another night she was having the same issues. So I gave this to her again, and she immediately let out the biggest fart and was able to poop, and she was fine, and she was able to go to sleep. This one I definitely used for both babies. I love it, still love it. It's helped, especially because both of my babies were born in this flu season, and now we're in this pandemic COVID season. It's the Saline spray drops. It's something easy. She's had a couple nights where she sounded stopped up a little bit, and so this came in handy. I just put it in her nose, a few drops, let it sit in there for a bit, and then, you know, she kind of sneezes and stuff, but it helps get her breathing normally again. So love this, have always used it. My next favorite is something that I've talked about a few times, but I'm adding it finally to this favorites video, and that is disposable diaper bags. We did not go with a diaper genie this baby. I felt like it was a waste with our first a little bit. They take up space, they stink, and there's like an extra cost with those baggies, and so it's just easier to get disposable bags. You can get doggy disposable bags. It doesn't have to be like this exact one. This is just what I've been stocking up with on Amazon, but it's just easy to grab one of these baggies. I have some in our room, in her nursery. I have some in her diaper bag, and then just grab it, put the diaper in there, tie it up, toss it in the trash can, and it's good to go. Burp Cloths. I love these muslin burp cloths that I picked up from Amazon. Also love the muslin washcloths. They're like this, but just a little bit smaller in washcloth size. But muslin was something new for me to try. I didn't really like the burp cloths and like baby washcloths that I had with my son. They just seemed kind of like not the greatest material, not the longest lasting, and just kind of not something that they could like really grow with. But I've been using these for literally everything, to help clean stuff up, to wipe her off with, to wipe her down since she can't do the baths just yet, but we've still been using the washcloths. The burp cloths are like good for pretty much anything. I do also have the muslin bath towel, so when she's able to actually start taking baths, I can't wait to use that either. But I highly recommend, instead of going for like the typical baby burp cloths and washcloths, that you invest in some muslin ones, because I feel like these are great for everyone, not just for the baby. So I want to talk about some breastfeeding favorites, and this is really important. I feel like this has been the most thing that I've kind of gravitated towards, because with my son, I wasn't really going to breastfeed, but I was 19 at the time, really didn't have the best income, and I knew breastfeeding was free. And when I ended up breastfeeding him, I ended up loving it, and really was heartbroken when he turned a year old and decided that he didn't want me anymore, and because I was not ready to be done breastfeeding. So when this baby came along, I was like gung-ho, I was like ready to breastfeed again, because I just loved every minute of breastfeeding my son. Yeah, this is like a totally different scenario. Love my daughter, but she is like a baby zombie, okay? She's not kind. She's very vicious. When she's breastfeeding, she likes to gnaw at my nipples. And I don't mean like just like a little gnaw and like just testing the waters and seeing what's going on. No, that girl is like gumming the heck out of my nipples. She doesn't even have teeth yet. So I can't imagine what that's going to be like. I've been in tears. I have been ready to throw in the towel for breastfeeding. I was ready to give up. I was like, I can't do this, because my nipples, you know, they're used to loving touches. They're not used to being, you know, eaten. Lactation consultants at the hospital really weren't caring that I was in so much pain. They just cared that I was breastfeeding. I cried a lot because, like I said, I wanted to breastfeed, and I just feel like it was something that I was gonna have to give up. And I mentioned randomly, like, I wish there was a barrier for my nipples between the baby and my boobs. And one of the nurses was like, oh, we have those. And I was like, can I please have one? And she was like, yeah. So the nurse brings me a shield. This is what they look like. I don't know if you can see it. This one's a little dirty because I just used it, but I got 2 from the hospital. I'll put a picture here so you can see it a little bit better. But it's just, this one is for bigger nipples. I have some for like inverted nipples, smaller nipples, different shaped nipples, whatever you got going down here, sister, they have a shield for it. I didn't know if I could take the ones from the hospital, so I was looking at Amazon. Amazon has a ton of options, but I just ended up taking the ones from the hospital. Evie isn't really into the shield. Every time I put it on, she kind of squinches her forehead a bit and looks at me like, why did you put this on? I don't use it for every feeding. When she starts getting out of control, like a baby T-Rex, I start putting this on for like the next few feedings, and then when she can be respectable and a little bit nicer to my nipples, I take this off and let her breastfeed bare. For breastfeeding, this has also been a game changer for my healing nipples. I love this a million times more than the lanolin. I love the way it glides on better, the way it kind of heals. I feel like this heals my nipples a lot faster. Like I said, she's a gnawing type of baby. I needed some relief while I have the shield in place. And the Mist Calm Your Nip Balm, it's more expensive, I know, than the lanolin, but I'm telling you, this stuff just works so much better. And I feel like the lanolin, It sticks to my nursing pads. Sometimes I used it at the hospital. It was sticking to my nursing pads, and so I took those out. It was sticking to my nursing bra. And can you imagine having already in pain nipples and then peeling material off your nipples because they stuck because of the nipple cream? Can you just imagine what that was like for me for just a second? I got home, I started using this, and I was like, oh, thank God, because my poor babies have been through so much. But if you're just in pain like me, mama, there's hope out there. A Shield and Calm Your Nip Balm. It's there for us, okay? Last but not least, for Breastfeeding Favorites, I so wish I had these with my son. They are these gel packs that you can heat and cool. Oh my gosh. When you are growing, sister, and it is painful as heck, put these babies in the microwave, set them on your boobs, and just breathe. Just breathe. We'll put stuff in the description box below. I'll have the links for you guys if you're needing stuff like this. As far as clothing goes, I've preached zipper onesies. Button onesies are a lot to deal with, especially in the middle of the night when you're trying to change them. Zipper onesies have always been my go-to, but I have found that there are zipper onesies that don't start off at the top, start at the bottom. And I didn't realize that before, and I'm sure that's never really been a problem, but my baby now is very security driven. She likes to be covered by something of some sort, by warmth. She does not like to be bare. So the ones that zip up from the bottom, when I have to go and change her, I have to zip it all the way down in order to get her legs out to change her. She hated that. So I recommend, if you have a baby that's very security driven and needs that like extra layer to feel safe and comfortable, to either find onesies that start from the top. That way they finish at the bottom, and then when you go to change, you can just zip a little bit up and not have her or him all exposed. Or they have onesies now that have dual zippers, one at the top and one at the bottom, and you can go each way, whatever you need to deal with the issues. Didn't realize that before. It's something very small probably, but for, like I said, something like that for my baby really makes a difference into how she reacts to getting her diaper changed or wiped down or anything like that. A new favorite has definitely been the knotted gowns. Love these. They're absolutely amazing. They're so easy to deal with. They're so convenient. Just to knot it at the bottom, unknot it, change them really quick, re-knot it. Love these. Highly recommend getting some knotted gowns as well as the zipper onesies. This next item is something that I have preached was a waste from like day one. I just thought that they were so pointless because I didn't need one with my son. I have nannied so many babies in my life and not a single baby needed this. I even worked at a daycare where I changed babies' diapers 24/7 and not a single one cared or needed this. So here I am saying it's a waste, and lo and behold, my daughter needed it and she loves it. That is this wipe warmer. They are expensive. At least the ones that like look sleek and nice are not that cheap. So I wouldn't say buy this right away. See what kind of baby you have going on, and because they may not care about cold wipes. Like I said, all those babies didn't need a single warm wipe, but this one, cold wipe on her bare bottom, is just not something that she's fond of. So we got a wipe warmer. I love this. It's very sleek looking. I did end up going with the blue. They had blue and pink. I got it on Amazon, but obviously there's an on and off button, and then there's different temperatures. So there's a lower temperature for the heat, and then there's a higher temperature, obviously. It's pretty basic, but I will say, I probably won't say they are a complete waste of your money anymore. Yeah, I can't believe I had to get this, and I'm eating my words now, but we did get a wipe warmer for her. This baby ended up being a pacifier baby. So I told you guys I only bought two because I wasn't quite sure how she would react to it since my son never took one. She does love them. I'm gonna have to take a video for you guys and show you what she's like when I put this near her, because it's kind of a representation of how she attacks my nipples. But at least she's not hurting anybody with this. But the way she just gnaws at it, like it's comical the way she attacks these things. But it can kind of give you an idea of what my poor nipples go through. But she likes them. We have the bibs ones for right now. I'm going to get her more of these just because I feel like we'll need more than 2 in case we ever lose one or whatever. So, and I'm also going to get some pacifier clips because I don't have any, because I wasn't quite sure if she would need them. So if you have pacifier clip recommendations, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Onto my postpartum favorites. I don't have much, but it is something that I wanted to reiterate that I've used every single day since the C-section surgery, and that is the high-waisted underwear that I got from Amazon. I just got black. I believe they came in a 5-pack. I will link these down below. I'm currently still wearing them, and it's been a week and a half. And also the nursing bras that I bought from Amazon as well. They are also just plain black. I ended up getting both of these for a pretty reasonable price. I like the black because, you know, it hides most of the things. You can't really see it, like the blood, because you will be bleeding regardless if you do C-section or a vaginal delivery. I really recommend the high-waisted underwear, especially if you had a C-section, so the underwear can come up above your incision. And then last, for postpartum, so I ended up getting a postpartum band. Just feel like I'm kind of sloshing around a bit, like that's kind of gross, but my organs just don't, like I just feel weird. I remember one night I had to cough, and it took everything in me to not cough, because I just knew if I let one out that my incision was gonna bust open and like my organs were gonna come out. And if it didn't come out of my incision, then it was gonna come out of my vagina. I ended up buying this. I didn't have it from day one, and I wish I would have. I think it would have made a lot of a difference for me. It just helps kind of keep me together. I really recommend, regardless if you have a C-section or not. I love the band. Oh, one last thing that I wanted to talk about. So I for sure felt that I was going to come on here and mention the Hatch Baby sound machine as a favorite, because I'm in love with it. And I was just like, the baby's gonna love this. It's gonna be the greatest thing ever. And it's not that she hates it, like she doesn't cry when I put it on or anything, but I feel like it doesn't make much of a difference. I have noticed though, I don't know if this could be considered a favorite, but maybe it might help another mom out there. I've noticed that this baby and even my first child are very musically driven from my music taste. So, and what I mean by that is I noticed when I'm just kind of chilling with Navy, I play my music from my phone, and she's very just content, like very calm. She's just looking around. She's unbothered. She's just very still, and she loves the music. And she has not been sleeping in her own bassinet. She has not been sleeping separately since she was born. She hates it. The very first night she has slept in my arms, and I don't need any criticism or anything like that. It's something that has been a battle for me. So if you're gonna say anything rude about it, please don't. But she doesn't do well sleeping by herself. She never has. She wants to sleep in my arms. So we tried buying a new bassinet to see if she would connect with it. I'm so sorry. Y'all, postpartum anxiety is something I struggle with, so please forgive me. Anyway, we bought her a new bassinet, and she still didn't want to sleep in it, and so I kind of gave up. She barely sleeps in her crib. She did for like 10 minutes and then realized where she was, and then she woke up crying. So she just hates sleeping separately. But I noticed the other day that she's so content when I play my music. So I put her in her new bassinet, which is attached to our bed, because I figured if she felt like she was at least close to me, then she would sleep better. And so I put her in her new bassinet and I started playing my music. Now, it's not like Mozart or anything like that. I'm not gonna lie, it was Lil Wayne, clean Lil Wayne, but it was Lil Wayne nonetheless. And she was still, and I played my playlist for her and she fell asleep. And she slept in her own bassinet to my music. And I don't know why I didn't think about it before, but if you have a baby that is having a hard time sleeping and even the sound machines don't work, like my baby doesn't care about the sound machine at all, try the music that you listen to while you're pregnant. My son is the same way. They're both on my music spectrums. She likes my R&B, he likes my R&B, but she also likes my trap music. She's a little gangster baby, but she's content with that type of music. She's calm, she's like happy. My son, I have like complete variations of music favorites in my life, but I love movie soundtracks. And by movie soundtracks, I mean like Transformers, like Hans Zimmerman, like orchestra type movie soundtracks from Transformers, Man of Steel, Pirates of the Caribbean, things like that. I love listening to that stuff, and my son is obsessed with that as well. And it's something that I always listened to when I was pregnant with him. But when I play stuff like that, he's quiet, he's calm, he's peaceful, he wants to listen to it, and it often puts him to sleep as well. And still to this day, even though he's 8, it still works that same way. So I don't know if it can be classified as a favorite, but it helps my babies relax and sleep. So if it's nothing is working for you, I just suggest playing some music of yours that they've listened to, that you might have listened to religiously while you were pregnant, because it might be something that they connect with. Okay guys, that is it for this favorites video. I hope that my favorites kind of give you some insight on what to purchase if you're pregnant, or if you're looking for something that for your newborn already, that things maybe haven't been working that you already purchased, that maybe one of those things could help make it a little bit easier for you guys. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.